Recapping Shohei Ohtani's historic season, looking back at the Dodgers trade deadline haul, and the latest on Fernando Valenzuela. All that and more coming up next on a special edition of Dodgers Dugout Live with Noah Camras.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
Dodgers win!
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball.
Grand slam!
It's a double for Freddie. They're going to make big signings. They're going to make impact trades. This is the most anticipated season in Dodgers history.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is going on, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. Everything you need to know about your boys in blue in less than an hour. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel, the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel in the world. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and comment giveaway down below to be eligible for all future giveaways. We are nearing 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and when we hit that, we will be doing a really fun giveaway. So make sure to subscribe and tell everyone you know to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. I already saw the comments. My name is Noah Camras. I am sorry. I am not Doug McCain, but Doug McCain is really making great progress and he could be back this week. So for now, I'm still here. We're going to have some fun together, but Doug's going to be back soon. Continue to wish him well on Twitter. I know he's been a little more active on Twitter. That's a great sign. I even talked to him yesterday and he's doing much, much better. I think the plan is to maybe get out of the hospital today. So D-Mac is getting better. We're going to get him back soon. His beautiful face will be back on the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel, and he'll be back for the postseason. But for today, I am here. My name is Noah Camras. You can follow me on Twitter at Noah Camras, and I am, of course, not alone because I got my producers over here, Mr. Antonio, Tony Taters in the flesh. He's ready for a really, really, really fun show. And also the GOAT of all GOATs, Noise by Noel. Follow him everywhere at Noise by Noel, Noel Sanchez. He's here with tons of great takes as always. And again, we're going to have a lot of fun. D-Mac, I've been talking to him. He's doing better. He's let's say he's in a rehab game right now. Let's go with that. All right. He's finally doing rehab games. He's yesterday he actually FaceTimed me and he had the headset on, so he definitely misses it. I know he wants to be back. He looked really good. So D-Mac will be back soon, but I'm going to be here for today. It is time for the DN poll question of the day. Before I get into the comments, and I want to ask you guys this question as well. Which player do you think was the best trade deadline acquisition by the Dodgers this year? I asked you that over on the X as of right now. 53.2% of you have said Michael Kopech, 33.3% of you have said Jack Flaherty, and 13.5% of you say Tommy Edman. 3 great options, of course. That's why I asked the question. And I want to ask you guys right now, which player do you think was the best Dodgers trade deadline acquisition this year? But we will get to that later in the show. First, it is time for the leadoff, the hottest story in Dodger baseball. Shohei Ohtani just completed one of the most historic seasons in Major League Baseball history. Okay? I'm going to go over all his stats. I'm going to go over all of his records that he broke. But first, I'm going to read some of your comments. Los Dodgers World Series champ says the Detroit Tigers are the team of destiny. I think they might be. I saw they were already beating the Astros today. I think they might be the team of destiny. Calvin the Goat ENT says Astros are cooked. Yes, they are. Noah Ortega says Trey Sweeney hit an RBI versus the Astros. Former Dodger doing great things against the hated Astros. We got John Fernandez said all the experts got the Dodgers not even making the World Series. Yeah, I mean, I you don't want to call the Dodgers underdogs this year, but definitely people are expecting the Padres to win that series if they do play the Padres. So that's going to be very exciting to see. Ray Soto says, I'm like the sad Escobar beam, bored next 4 days. Yeah, what are we doing without Dodger baseball? Fortunately, we're here today having fun, and D-Mac will be back soon. Ismael Sanchez says, I'm good with Nasty Noah. Thank you, Ismael. That's a fire take. I appreciate that, Ismael Sanchez. A few more comments here. Noise by Noel in the stream. He says, Nasty Noah. Thank you, Noise by Noel. You're the GOAT as always. We got Chinito Pinoy says our pitching will cost us. Yeah, it's definitely a little stressful, but we'll have to see what happened. The infamous El Guapo says poor D-Mac. He must have lifted some big tortas. I mean, I don't know how heavy those things get, like with the bread and everything. Maybe they get to like 5 pounds or so. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how heavy they get. But let's get into Shohei Ohtani's historic season. I'm going to ask you right now, while I kind of go over it, what was your favorite Shohei Ohtani moment of the 2024 regular season? Okay. His first year with the Dodgers. What was your favorite Shohei Ohtani moment? Think about that right now. And I'm going to start talking about Shohei Ohtani. Okay. Like I said, Shohei Ohtani just completed one of the most historic seasons in Major League Baseball history. I'm going to start by going over his stats. We're going to talk about all the stats, all the records he broke. He had 54 home runs, a career high. He had 130 RBIs, a career high. His previous career high in home runs was 46. His previous career highs in runs batted in was 100. So career high in home runs, career high in RBIs. He had 197 hits, a career high. His previous career high was 160. 134 runs scored. His previous career high was 134. He hit 310, which was a career high. His previous career high was 304. He had a 390 on base percentage. He had a 646 slugging percentage. He had a 1.036 OPS. He had a career high OPS plus of 190. He had 411 total bases, which is the first season in MLB with 400 total bases since 2001. And of course, a career high for him. His previous career high was 325. He had the most plate appearances of his career, 731. That happens when you're on a good team that scores a lot and you're hitting leadoff. You get a lot more plate appearances. He appeared in 159 games. He made the All-Star team, and he is going to win the NL MVP. So that's Shohei Ohtani's first regular season with the Dodgers. On top of all that, he, of course, invented the 50-50 club. He had 50 home runs. He stole 50 bases. The previous club was 42-42. Alex Rodriguez in 1998 had 42 home runs and 46 stolen bases. So a 42-42 was the most of each. Ohtani had 54 and 59. So a 54-54 club. Of course, he had his first career postseason berth. He clinched his first career division title. He got his first champagne shower at the MLB level. I'm not sure. I mean, he definitely never made a playoff with the Angels. I don't know if they ever maybe did regular season champagne showers. I'm not really sure what they do over there. But he got his first champagne shower at the MLB level, clinching the division. And that's what he did in the regular season in his first season in Dodger Blue. Now, those are just his stats. The amount of records that this man broke along the way is absolutely unbelievable. So I'm going to try my best to get all of them. If I missed one, just shout them out in the comments. Like, please feel free. I'm going to start going through them. So Ohtani reached the 40-40 milestone, 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases in 129 games. That is 19 games ahead of the previous fastest, which was Alfonso Soriano in 2006. So 19 games faster than Alfonso Soriano to reach the 40-40 club. On the season, Ohtani had 59 stolen bases in 63 attempts. He was only caught stealing 4 times, which is a 93.7% success rate. That is the second best ever in a 50 steal season MLB history, trailing only Max Carey in 1922, who had a 96.2%. Ohtani stole 36 consecutive bases to end the season without getting caught. 36 straight steals without getting caught. Now, Ohtani also had 16 games with both a home run and a stolen base. That is 3 more than the previous record holder, the great Rickey Henderson in 1986. If you are beating Rickey Henderson in a stolen base category, you're doing something right. I got a ton more Ohtani records to get to, but let's get into the comments a little bit to see what you guys are saying. Craig Oderberg says, hi, Noah. Craig, what is up, my man? It is great to see you. Matt Leiter, interesting, said Shohei did okay. I need to see him pitch to see if he is any good.
Bruh.
That, I mean, okay. I'm not sure about that take, but we'll see. Martin said when he smacked the Padres last time he played. Yeah, Shohei went 6 for 11 in the series against the Padres to clinch the division. That's definitely a great favorite moment. Ray Soto says 40-40 walk of GS. Yeah, the walk-off grand slam 40-40. I think walk-off grand slam. Yeah, that was a good one. Flatten Crumb said him getting the walk-off 40th home run. Kelly Oshiro says 40-40 game because I was there. It was storybook. Kelly, you got to tell us how that game was. Rachel Stubbington in the chat. Rachel says, Noah looks nice and green. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very, very much. Let's keep. Jose Aguirre says, what up, Noah, Tony Tortas, and Dodgers Nation? Tony, you want to say hi to our boy over here?
¿Qué huele, José? ¿Cómo andas, güey? Aquí estamos, Tony Tortas. Échale.
What he said. What he said. So those are some of the records. I got many more Ohtani records to get to, so I'm going to keep this moving right now. Ohtani broke 3 Dodgers single season records at Dodger Stadium. This is courtesy of Eric Steven of True Blue LA. So thank you, Eric Steven, for this. Ohtani had the most home runs, the most total bases, and the most runs batted in at home. Across 80 games at home, he had 28 home runs, 205 total bases, and 67 runs batted in. No player has ever done that at Dodger Stadium in a season. Again, this is his first year in Dodger Blue. Ohtani hit 12 home runs and stole 15 bases in August. He had 10 home runs and stole 16 bases in September. Those are 2 of the only 9 10-10 months in Major League history. There have only been 9 10 home run, 10 stolen base months in MLB history. Ohtani has 2 of them. He's the only player in MLB history to have 2 of them, and he did it 2 months in a row. So, I mean, that's just unbelievable. Ohtani is also the only player ever with at least 30 home runs and 30 steals in an 81-game span. Let's keep this moving on these records. On April 21st, Ohtani set the career record for most MLB home runs hit by a player born in Japan, passing Hideki Matsui's 175, and Ohtani now has 225 career home runs, which is well past Matsui, and Ohtani is just getting started. Ohtani's also, his 59 steals are the most in an MLB season by any player born in Japan, which is 3 more than Ichiro Suzuki's 2001 season when he had 56. Let's keep this going. Ohtani is the Dodgers single season home run record holder, passing Sean Green with 49. Ohtani has the most extra base hits in a Dodger season. His 99 extra base hits are 5 more than Babe Herman, who did it in 1930 for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Okay. 1930. That is 94 years that record stood, and Ohtani took it in his first year. Ohtani had 411 total bases, like I said, which was a Los Angeles Dodgers record, surpassing Adrian Beltre's 376 in 2004. That man's a Hall of Famer. And he fell just 5 total bases shy of Herman's franchise mark of 104. Finally, Ohtani had a 9.2 offensive B-WAR, wins above replacement, which is the highest in franchise history, surpassing Mike Piazza's 9.0 in 1997. Did I miss anything? Did I get them all? I believe that is every record Ohtani broke, and the list just goes on. Now, remember, this is Ohtani's first season with the Dodgers. This was only him hitting. Next year, he's also going to be pitching. Also, if you look at his contract, that was $2 million for this year. That has to be the best $2 million ever spent in the history of sports. I'm going to say that right now. The best $2 million ever spent in the history of sports. Tony, I'm going to start with you. I know there's the records. I know there's the stats. There are also moments.
Oh, yeah.
What was your favorite moment from Ohtani's first regular season with the Dodgers?
You know, I got to say, I grew up a Sean Green fan my whole life. A lot of players, I really resonated with Sean Green. And that 49 home run mark, I never thought it would be broken in the Dodgers. And Adrian Beltre almost did it in 2004 with 48. But just seeing him get to 50-50, not just 50-50, but just passing Sean Green for me, just being like a kid and just be like, oh man, Sean Green, that record's so crazy. It's so untouchable. And just seeing him do it in his first year, just transcending to that new era of Dodgers baseball. You know what I mean? But when he passed Sean Green, not just 50-50, but more just because he passed Sean Green for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the 50-50 is incredible when you think about it. But he's now the Dodgers single season franchise record holder for home runs in a season.
You got to love it.
His first year with the Dodgers. I mean, like, that's unbelievable. The sky's the limit. No, I'm going to get to you in a second. But first, I want to get to some of these comments. So let's see some of these comments. First, Tio Serrano, super chat, $5. Thank you so much, Tio. This is for DMAC applesauce or his Jello for lunch. The doc put him under a low torta diet. I saw a picture of DMAC's food yesterday, and it looked exactly like that. I think I saw one applesauce can or carton, whatever you want to call it, and one Jello one. So you absolutely know what he's eating. I think he's excited to eat something else very soon. But yes, I appreciate that, Tio. DMAC appreciates that. Let's get a few more of your comments here. Jose Aguirre says, make sure DMAC pounds a torta every 4 hours and gets plenty of rest. Absolutely need to see that. Matt Leiter says, I'm curious as to how many DHs have more than 20 stolen bases in a season. I can't look that up right now, but I will look for that soon and get back to you. Carol S says, Noah, you're a great number 2, but you have to rock the LA baseball cap. Here's what I'll say about that. I look really bad in hats. Okay. I always have. It's just kind of something that I do. If I have to, I'll make it work, but a hat has never looked good on me. So you'll see a not good looking picture of me if you want me to wear a hat. Baby Step says, nice decorations in the background. Festive. Really want the Dodgers to win this year. That's a great point. This background looks a little bit different. If you want to know why, it's because our producers worked really hard yesterday on a Dodgers award show, an end of season award show that will be dropping very soon on the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. Noel, why don't you tell us about that a little bit? Just kind of promo that little Dodgers award show that people are going to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so we just thought, it was such a fun season. We want to fill in these gaps with the days off. We don't want people to be too bored watching other teams waiting for the Dodgers NLDS to roll around. So we decided to put together a little award show. We're going to be naming some player awards, MVP, comeback player, defense player of the year, pitcher of the year, stuff like that. We also have Dodgers Nation content awards. So the best live interviews we've had, the best interviews that we've had from players coming on the show, just a little fun content like that. So keep an eye out for that. We're planning to drop that either Thursday or Friday. We also have special awards for you guys, the best fans in the show, the best supporters, best commenters, all that type of stuff. So make sure you turn on notifications, subscribe, and you might see yourself at the end of that video.
How about that? We're not only giving the Dodgers Players Awards, we're not only giving, the best interview, we're giving you guys awards because you guys are the best fans in baseball. You guys are the best commenters in baseball. And here at Dodgers Nation, we want to make sure you guys get the shout outs you deserve. So do not miss that. That'll be dropping later this week. And yes, that's with the festive background. It's also because DMAC's going to be coming back soon, and we have to have this place look beautiful for him. I just saw back-to-back day. Could you give an update on DMAC's status? Yes, I said at the top of the show, DMAC is doing much better. I actually talked to him yesterday. That was the best he sounded. He FaceTimed me. That was the best he's looked for the last week. So DMAC is making really great progress. He's going to be back soon. Hopefully, even maybe sometime later this week, he'll have his first show, and he will absolutely be back for the postseason as long as no unforeseen circumstances happen. So that's the great DMAC update. Nendo390 says, worst wife award goes to my wife.
Bruh.
It's a funny comment. That's a really funny comment. I'll give you that one. A few more comments before we get to Noel's favorite moment. Adrian Salazar says, Astros losing is beautiful to see. The infamous El Guapo said, I'm glad Ohtani didn't win the Triple Crown. It gives him something to aim for next season. That's a fire take. Yeah, that's true. I mean, now he has to do something new next year. He can't just do this. Obviously, he's going to be pitching next year. Jose Aguirre says, Dodgers Nation, do you think we'll ever see this from Shohei again? What if he just decides to take another year off from pitching? I think Shohei wants to pitch. I think Shohei really feels that he is a two-way player. He's the best two-way player ever, and he's going to want to get back on the mound. So I don't think he's going to stop. But here's what I think. I think in terms of the power, I don't think that's going to go away. I think he'll steal fewer bases once he starts pitching again because that's just a lot on his body and everything like that. But I do think that the power will still be there, and it'll be great. Noel,
yes,
I got to get to you. Your favorite Shohei Ohtani moment of the 2024 season?
So many. I feel like this year has kind of felt like 3 years overall for the season. We always say, we're like, man, like this game happened 2 weeks ago, but it feels like it was like 5 months ago, just the way things move here, long baseball season. So many good memories already with Shohei. Two stick out to me. One is because of an actual record, and that's the 40-40 game, Grand Slam walk-off.
Insane.
We were all in the group chat watching that game together, and we were like, no way he does this. And it was like a storybook movie ending, just perfect. Way to win the game, way to break the record. So that was amazing. Number two is when Decoy threw out the first pitch and Otani was the catcher. Dude, that video was amazing. And like I said, it's not a record, but it just goes to show how he's been able to captivate the community here. His dog was a superstar from the second he started showing him when he accepted the MVP last year on TV. And then to have him at the stadium, to teach him at Dodger Stadium during the Dodgers, like 2 or 3 days off, put in like 2-3 hours a day to show him how to do that. And then the fact that Decoy was ready that day, dude, that was an amazing moment.
Yeah, that was an incredible moment. Shohei said he was working really hard to make sure that Decoy was ready for that, and they killed it. They absolutely killed it. That's a great moment. I want your guys' favorite moments in the chat. My favorite moment has to be the 6-for-6 50-50 game. I mean, that was just unbelievable. Like, you watch him get the stolen base, you watch him hit his first home run, you're like, he's not going to do it again, is he? Then he hits the second one for 50-50. You're like, okay, wait a minute. Like, this guy might get another at bat. Also, he might hit the cycle. Also, he's 5 for 5 right now. And then he comes up for the 9th inning and he hits another moonshot, that one off a position player. And just that, I think, encapsulates the greatness. It was what? 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, 6 for 6, one of the greatest games ever. So that had to be my favorite moment. A few of your comments before we move on to the next topic. Name says the 40-40 grand slam. Tio Serrano says 40-40. Tony Ordaz says 50-50. Kelly Oshira says Shohei going to win pitching triple crown while hitting 40 plus homers. That would be absolutely insane. Dave Will, we got a fire take here. He says, I'm calling it. Next year, Otani is going to get both Cy Young and triple crown. That's a fire take. That would probably be the greatest season ever if somebody did something like that. Jose Aguirre with a more recent favorite moment, the back-to-back from Shohei and Mookie to tie and win it for sure. That was an unbelievable moment. Shohei for the tie, Mookie for the win. That's definitely an extremely, extremely fire moment. Now, there are a lot of great Shohei moments. I will continue to get to them, those comments when you have them. But for now, we need to shift gears, okay? Last comment here. Matt Leiter says, we have Ohtani for the next decade too. Exactly. This is year 1, and we haven't even seen the postseason yet. And if the WBC was any kind of preview of what we're going to see in the postseason, this is going to be a lot of fun. Keith Potter, favorite moments where Ohtani's bat flips. Man, was he a good bat flipper. I mean, he really got good at it, and I loved when he would stare down his home runs. And one other kind of underrated just overall moment, the emotion that Shohei showed all year. I mean, this guy cared. This guy wanted to win. The emotion he was showing in that series against the Padres and really all year when he had a big hit, that is what you love to see. So those are the great Shohei moments. Continue to get your comments in there and I will be ready to read them. But first, I got to tell you that today's show is brought to you by our friends at Underdog Fantasy. Take a swing at Pick'em this baseball season on Underdog. Over 1 million fans across 33 states got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. I've personally had a great time on Underdog so far this year. It's really simple to use and take a look at stats and projections for my favorite players. This week, I'm taking higher than 244.5 passing yards on Brock Purdy and higher than 80.5 receiving yards on CeeDee Lamb. Underdog is super easy to play and it's even easier to get started. Go to their easy-to-use mobile app or go to underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with promo code DNP, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first Pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That is Underdog Fantasy, promo code DNP, to claim your new customer special of a mystery player pick and your deposit offer. You must be 18 or older, 21 or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Are you concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. It is time to talk the Dodgers trade deadline haul. But first, I want to get a quick update on Astros Tigers. I know there are a lot of Dodger fans in the chat talking about it. The Tigers are up 3-0 over the Astros right now. The Tigers are definitely the team of destiny. And imagine knocking out the Astros. Antonio salivating over there, just thinking about that. Okay, we don't have anybody of that one. But thinking about the Tigers team of destiny taking out the Astros in the first round. So we will definitely keep up with that and the rest of the wildcard. We'll talk about it a little more later. But we need to talk about the trade deadline haul that the Dodgers just had. Okay. I know it's now 3 months after August. 3 months, 2 months, whatever it is. This trade deadline haul is absolutely insane. Okay. What Andrew Friedman did at this trade deadline, that, in my opinion, saved the Dodgers season. Okay. So let's do a quick overview of what they did. And I want to ask you right now, which I asked the DN poll question earlier, who was your favorite, or what was the best acquisition that the Dodgers made at the trade deadline this year? Okay, so answer that question now, and I'm going to give you the rundown. Who came in at the trade deadline? Michael Kopech, Tommy Edman, Jack Flaherty, Ahmed Rosario, Kevin Kiermaier, Moises Bolivar, and Oliver Gonzalez. What went out? Miguel Vargas, Trey Sweeney, Tayron Lorenzo, James Paxton, Ricky Vanasco, Jarrell Perez, Alexander Albertus, Ryan Yarbrough, and Michael Flynn. Okay, so that was the trade deadline haul. The biggest names that came in, of course, were Kopech, Edman, Flaherty, and then Kevin Kiermaier made a solid impact. Ahmed Rosario did not make the impact that we expected. And the big names going out were obviously Miguel Vargas, who was not having the best time in Chicago. We saw a lot of very sad moments of him on the White Sox. Trey Sweeney has made a really solid impact with the Tigers, and apparently he had a big hit today. Lorenzo is there. Paxton didn't really work out. That was kind of a DFA anyway. That was just a trade at the end. And then those are kind of the big names. Ryan Yarbrough did not do much. So those are the big names. Now, of course, Jack Flaherty at the time was the biggest acquisition. They got him at the buzzer. He was the best player traded at the deadline. But I'm not sure if he ended up being the best acquisition, because that might be Michael Kopech. So I'm going to go through the stats, but first I'm going to read some of your comments because I asked you that question, and I want you to keep answering who was your favorite or who was the best acquisition this year. So BC says Flaherty. Spooky Morales says no doubt Tommy Edman. Craig Osterberg says Michael Kopech. Tony Ordaz III says Jack Flaherty. Soulbro1 says Tommy. Ronald Pasquale says trade deadline was A+. Kopech was the best pickup. Spooky Morales says they're all fire. That's a fire take. Adrian Salazar says Tommy Tanks. Adrian Salazar says Kopech too. Mr. /X says Flaherty. Ray Soto gave some grades. My grades: Kopech A, Flaherty B-, Edman B. Nando 390 says should have given up the farm for Skubal. I don't think the Tigers would have entertained anything for Skubal, and look at them now in the playoffs. So I don't think they would have entertained no matter what. Now, I kind of like the idea of giving some grades. So give me some of your trade deadline grades while I go through and give some of my trade deadline grades, and of course, go over some of these stats. Let me start with Michael Kopech. Michael Kopech was part of that 3-team trade that brought in Kopech and Edman, and for the most part, really just sent out Miguel Vargas and some prospects. Now, Michael Kopech, when he was with the Chicago White Sox, this year, he was 2-8 with a 4.47 ERA. He had 59 strikeouts in 43.2 innings pitched. And yeah, the 4.74 ERA, 23 earned runs, 8 home runs. So that's what he gave up with the White Sox. He then comes to the Dodgers, and he turns into arguably the best reliever in baseball. He goes 4-0 with a 1.13 ERA. 1.13 ERA. He had 29 strikeouts in 24 innings pitched. He only gave up 3 earned runs. He only gave up 1 home run. He had 6 saves. He had 8 holds. He had 0 blown saves, and he turned into the most dominant pitcher on the Dodgers. Okay. And the best part about Michael Kopech, another year of team control. Okay. So Michael Kopech, he's 28 right now. He'll be 29 next year. And I just answered that question. Aldo Lu on perfect timing. How long do we have Kopech for? It's on contract to 2025. Yep. Another year of team control. He's not a free agent until 2026. So you get what turned into be the Dodgers closer at a perfect time with Evan Phillips struggling. Daniel Hudson was struggling. Now you have Michael Kopech. I can't wait to see what he does in the postseason, but talk about a midseason acquisition. And for him, talk about a midseason turnaround. You know, I love Kopech, and he had an absolutely unbelievable midseason turnaround after coming to LA. So that's the Michael Kopech stuff. Let's get over to Jack Flaherty. Jack Flaherty with the Tigers, he went 7-5 with a 2.95 ERA across 18 starts. He had 133 strikeouts. He gave up 35 earned runs in 106.2 innings pitched. Now with the Dodgers, he had a 6-2 record. He had a 3.58 ERA, so a little inflated. A lot of that because of his last 3 starts, he struggled. He had 61 strikeouts and 55.1 innings pitched. Now again, I did say on the last show, he struggled a little bit towards the end of the season. 10 earned runs in his last 3 starts, which was 14 total innings. But the Dodgers got him for the postseason, and he's going to have an opportunity. He's most likely, like we said on yesterday's show, he's most likely going to be the game 1 starter. So he's going to have an opportunity to show exactly why the Dodgers got him. The LA kid, Harvard Westlake. Now he's a free agent at the end of this year. You know, you'll have to see what the Dodgers decide to do with Flaherty, but still he made a solid impact so far. And what they got him for is October. So that starts on Saturday when he's most likely on the mound for game 1. Let me read a few of these comments before I get to Tommy Edman. Noah Ortega says, Padres overspent on Scott, and we got Kopech as a side piece Friedman knows how to deal with. Yeah, I mean, Andrew Friedman cooked at the trade deadline. The Padres gave up a haul for Tanner Scott. And like we said last week, Tanner Scott got the loss in Thursday's NL West clincher, and Michael Kopech was on the mound to close it out. It was a storybook ending to that game with the trade deadline stuff. Mike Corona Gonzalez says Kopech is the better deal we made since the Dodgers never had a dominant closer since Eric Gagne. Yeah, it is absolutely incredible to see what Kopech has been doing. And yeah, I mean, there were a lot of shades of Eric Gagne as one of the most dominant closers. Spooky Morales says Kopech's a beast if he can keep control. Yeah, he's been pretty good so far. Spooky Morales says Kopech needed Dodgers coaching. Yeah, the Dodgers coaching definitely helped him out because that 4.74 ERA very quickly shrunk. Mike Corona Gonzalez gives the Dodgers an A-. Albert Lopez gives them an A for the trade deadline. Oscar Morris says Kopech, Edman, and bringing Flaherty to his childhood team is awesome. Yeah, they absolutely cooked with all of those moves. Gangster. Feel like if Kopech didn't come, the bullpen would have collapsed. I mean, obviously, it's very possible that Kopech, without him, the impact would not have been as strong. So it's definitely a take that, you know, having him there really solidified that bullpen and really feel like made everyone play better. So I love that take. Roy Estrada, he said, yes, we traded our shortstop Sweeney, who was starting in playoffs and playing well. Yes, Sweeney wasn't on the roster when they traded him, so it's not like he was playing then and there. But yeah, he is playing really well for Detroit. But again, the reason that they traded him is to get the number one pitcher that was dealt at the deadline in Jack Flaherty, and he'll have a chance to make them look even better with a really strong game one performance. A few more comments. Roy Estrada says Kopech wants the smoke, not concerned. Love that one. Oscar Morris says Mookie is ready for postseason redemption. The infamous El Guapo says all three pickups have been great. We got a few Ohtani comments. Barbara Munoz says 50-50 game was the greatest individual offensive performance by any player in MLB history. That's a fire take. Kelly Oshiro says 40-40 game because I was there, a storybook. Yep. And one more Ohtani comment. Matty Man 5 Dodge says 3 homer game, 17 total bases. Yeah, that is quite an impressive Ohtani performance. Any more comments here? Albert Lopez says Flaherty and Edmund. Anthony Cortez says Noah. Shout out from work. I'm hiding out to watch the podcast. That is a fire take, Anthony. We absolutely love to see that. We love you guys checking in. And hey, I won't tell your boss. All right. Your secret is safe with me. NS says Jay Flair, starting pitcher, would be screwed without him. Yeah. If the Dodgers didn't have Flaherty right now, it would be what? Game 1 Yamamoto, Game 2 Bueller, Game 3 Knack, Game 4 Hope and Pray. I think that's kind of what we'll be looking at right now. So thank God that Flaherty is here. Infamous El Guapo says it's a 3-way tie, Kopech, JF, and Tommy. All right. I haven't talked about Mr. Tommy Edman yet. Tommy Edman was out for the beginning of the year. The last time he had played was 2023 with the Cardinals when he hit 248 with 13 home runs, 47 RBIs, 705 OPS. He was always a very solid utility player. He had a Gold Glove in 2021. But with the Dodgers, he really started getting hot. He cooled down at the end of the year, but overall, he had 237, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs. He had 6 stolen bases, a 711 OPS. And again, he played defense all over. He played really good defense, and he had a ton of big hits, big moments like this 2-run home run right here. This was, remember what he had that stretch of, okay, I'm going to mess this up. He had what, like 6 home runs? I don't know, someone help me out here. Well, one of you knows he had like 6 straight home runs, like his first 6 home runs at the Dodger or something like that.
Yeah, he like entered a game like with no home runs, and then like 3 or 4 games later, he had like 6 or 7.
I mean, it was absolutely unbelievable.
Tony, do you know the exact number?
I believe it was 6 home runs in 5 games.
That's what I said.
Something crazy.
So he had 0 home runs as a Dodger, and then all of a sudden, he had 6 home runs to the Dodger in the blink of an eye, and he really carried them. It was him and Max Muncy were each like having big home run games that week. So he had such big moments, and he's going to come up huge in the postseason. Again, a switch hitter. He plays defense everywhere. He can play center field. He can play the infield. He's going to be a really big player. So those were the 3 acquisitions, 3 main ones. And again, I want your guys' thoughts in the comments of who was your favorite, who was the best. And while you do that, and I'm going to keep reading some, I'm going to go over to Antonio.
What up?
Kopech, Edman, Flaherty. Who's the best?
I'm going to say Kevin Kier. I'm just kidding. I'm going to say Michael Kopech for sure. He's just straight dog up there, right? It's great seeing a reliever throwing triple digits for the Dodgers. Like Doug said, it was Jonathan Broxton and Kenley Jansen. I don't know. Did Kenley Jansen ever hit triple digits? I don't think
he definitely was up there, but I don't know if he
But Jonathan Broxton for sure. But yeah, and Michael Kopech, I love it. I love his emotion. I love his intensity. And he's got the power of Jesus Christ with him. So that's always cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go to you. I know you love Michael Kopech's like walkout music or whatever, that whole thing, that whole shenanigan. But yeah, but tell me, Kopech, Edman, Flaherty, what are you thinking?
Kopech has all the confidence in the world. I mean, even just coming to Dodgers and automatically finding success in the bullpen, and then a couple weeks later saying he wants to be a starter.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The dude is just hungry. He just wants to go out there and pitch no matter who he's facing. And that's exactly what LA needs this time of the year. Like you said, Freeman cooked at the deadline. I also really like Flaherty. I think Flaherty is going to be huge for us. He's had a couple of shaky starts the past couple of weeks, but he's been able to find his way. And like you said, this is the reason why LA went and got him. He's LA native. He wants to put on for his city. It's his time to really go out there and just shine and set the bar off straight for the Dodgers.
Yeah, I love those takes. You think about Michael Kopech. I mean, he was on the worst team in MLB history to start this season. The Chicago White Sox, who finished with, was it 121 losses? I don't even remember the number. All I know is the most ever. So he goes from that team to now the team that finishes with the best record in baseball this year. And yeah, he wants to do anything to help this team win. He's open to starting. He's open to relief. I'm telling you right now, he will be a reliever in the postseason. Then they can start talking about starting maybe next year, but we got to cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, for me, I love Jack Flaherty. He's here for the big moments. I love what Tommy Edman's done. He's actually someone that I've wanted them to trade for a while, but it's Michael Kopech, man. I mean, having that shutdown reliever, Dodger fans haven't felt that in a while. Yeah, Evan Phillips was that guy, but he was more of the fireman role. He was never like, okay, you're the ninth inning guy. Michael Kopech is that guy. Now, they have used him in other spots before, to get out of big situations, but he is the team's closer. He's the best closer they've had in a long time, and I'm excited to see what he can do in October, because the most important thing always is those last 3 outs. Who's going to get the last 3 outs of the big game? I don't trust anyone more than I trust Michael Kopech right now to get the last 3 outs of a postseason game. So those are my thoughts on that. I'm going to read a few more of your comments before we shift gears a little bit. Spooky Morales says, rather than compare them all, I like how you gave Freeman the props for amazing deals. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I like picking our favorite, but still, they're all great, and Andrew Freeman deserves the credit for doing what he did, because he didn't part with any of the team's top prospects, and he got the best player at the time, Jack Flaherty, the best reliever in Michael Kopech, and a player that perfectly fit the roster in Tommy Edman. And Kevin Kiermaier had a lot of big moments too. There was like a second where he was all of a sudden like hitting like Barry Bonds for a little bit. So you got to give the credit there. Craig Osterbrook says, Kopech wins the game in the 9th if the Dodgers are ahead. Exactly. That is what you need. You need to feel confident that if you're winning in the 9th inning, that game is over. And Kopech gives you that confidence. Aldu Lujan says, Vesia, Phillips, Trinan, and Kopech. Dang. And that young kid. Yeah, Edgardo Henriquez looked good. Got his first career save on Sunday. It'll be interesting to see what the Dodgers do if they put him in the postseason rotation or postseason bullpen or not. Diane Schroeder says, she's responding to Kenny Chung. I don't know what he said, but that's what I've been trying to tell everybody, that he bats much better from the right side than the left. He needs to be primarily a righty for the postseason. Yeah, that's about definitely about Tommy Edman. Yeah, he's definitely has those uneven splits, and the Dodgers, I assume, Kenny Chung said, Tommy Edman needs to primarily hit as a righty. He's not doing anything on the left. Yeah, he's much better as a righty. So the Dodgers should look into ways to keep him on that side, but they'll have to use him where they have to use him, and they'll have to see what they do. Tony Ortega says, Tommy went from Barry Bonds to Outman in a span of 2 weeks. I want Tommy Bonds in the postseason. Yeah, again, he got really hot. He cooled down. I think he was hitting over 300 for a little bit. Then he cooled down, but let's see what he can do in the postseason. Diane Schroeder says, smash the like button for Noah. That is a fire take from Diane Schroeder. She's the best, and thank you. Adrian Salazar says, I'm listening to y'all in the shower. LOL. I mean, I appreciate the love, man. Just, anyway to spice up the shower, I guess. I absolutely appreciate it. Birasama says, what up, Noah? What up, Dodgers Nation? What is up, Birasama? How you doing, man, or woman, or anything on this fine Tuesday? A few more comments here. Roy Estrada says, Saturday morning is deadline to submit playoff roster. Yeah, we'll talk more about that later in the week, about the playoff roster and everything like that. Maybe D-Mac will be back to do that too. And NS says, I don't mind Kopech coming in the 8th if he's dealing with the top of the lineup. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he's your closer, your 9th inning guy. But if, 2, 3, 4 is coming up in the 8th inning and you need to get 3 outs, why not put Michael Kopech in there? So they'll definitely have those options. And yeah, at the very least, they'll have Kopech, they'll have Vesia, they'll have Blake Trinan, they'll have Evan Phillips, and then you'll see who else makes the cut. Yo, Marky Mark says, I'm also listening to you in the shower. What is going on with the showers today? These are, I don't even know what to give that. I mean, again, you guys can listen to us anywhere you want. That just shows how versatile the Dodgers Nation podcast is. Again, anything to spice up the shower, I guess. Okay, we're going to shift gears a little bit. Now, we don't have much information, but we know that last week, Fernando Valenzuela, he took a leave of, or stepped away from the Dodgers broadcasting booth right before the postseason. And then on, I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago, David Fadelson on Twitter, and I'm just going to read what he said. He said that Fernando Valenzuela has reportedly been checked into a hospital for unknown reasons. And again, this comes right after Valenzuela's decision to step away from the Dodgers broadcast booth before the postseason. Now, again, we don't have any information on it. We're not sure exactly what's going on. All we can do is absolutely wish the best to Fernando Valenzuela, not only one of the best Dodgers ever, but one of the best people ever. I mean, just an absolute legend for the Dodgers in Los Angeles, for so many reasons. So again, we don't exactly know what's going on. We know that he's not in the broadcast booth anymore. And for now, this is the update we have. And hopefully it's nothing too serious. Hopefully the doctors are working to get everything back. And again, it's not even that we don't even need to see Fernando back in the broadcast booth soon. We just need to see him back and healthy soon. So obviously, that's all we know right now. We're going to kind of continue to keep up on that. And any more news that we get, we will, of course, share with you guys, because I know we all want to be up to date with Fernando's news. But yeah, that is what we know right now. Definitely a scary situation, but we're crossing our fingers. We're wishing all the best to Fernando, to the family, to the Dodgers and everyone involved, because that is a scary situation. Let's just hope that everything is okay and Fernando will be back very, very soon. So that's the latest that we have there. Let me read some of these comments. We got Miguel Ramirez says prayers for Fernando. Roy Estrada, the prayers for Fernando. A lot of those. Ronald Pascual says prayers for Fernando Mania. I know a couple more prayer emojis. Infamous El Guapo has a blue heart with 34. Another prayer emoji. So yeah, obviously we are wishing the best to Fernando. I know one of Antonio's favorite players ever. And yeah, let's just, again, I don't want to speculate on anything. That's what we know right now from David Fadelson. And let's just hope that we get more positive updates soon. So that is the latest on Fernando Valenzuela. And let's close out this show now with a few wild card predictions. Okay. So as of right now, and I'm going to go to my producers here too. I'm going to ask you guys too. We got 4 wild card games this week. Or 4 games every day. You know what I mean. So first, it is the Tigers and the Astros. Okay. The Tigers are currently winning 3-0. Obviously, I have not been watching that game because I'm here, but people are saying that the Tigers look good. I think it's Scooball. He's dominating. Trey Sudi had the hit. So again, as we all know, it is a best of 3 series. So Tony, I'm starting with you. Tigers or Astros? Who is taking that wild card series? The 6-seeded Tigers, the 3-seeded Astros.
Man, it's always F the Astros, bro. Let's go Tigers, dude. Come on, AJ Hinch. Actually, that's so funny. I was thinking about it. He's banging those trash cans for the Tigers, huh?
It is a flipped script with AJ Hinch all of a sudden trying to take down the Astros, the Trashstros, as people like to say. So you have the Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers are doing it legitimately. Don't worry.
But all right. Yeah, they're going to do it
one
for
of the
real.
best uniforms, too.
I mean, the Tigers are red hot, a miraculous comeback. Noel, Tigers or Astros?
Absolutely the Tigers, man. No other answers is the correct one. I'm a big fan of Scooball. I really like that team overall, man. They're feisty. They go out there and fight. So definitely.
All right, we're gonna keep things going here in the AL. The Kansas City Royals and the Baltimore Orioles. This one's gonna be feisty. All right, Royals Orioles. You can go either way. First game today at 1:08 PT Pacific time. Tony, what do you think?
They got Corbin Burns game 1, right?
I got to check. I'm not sure. I'm not going to pretend that I know.
But the Orioles, they got their own taters right there. Anthony Santander.
Corbin Burns versus Cole Reagan in game 1.
2 great pitchers this year. Oh man, the Royals, it's a feel-good story. Bobby Wood Jr., he
could easily win an MVP if Aaron Judge wasn't doing what he was doing, you know?
You love to see Bobby win, so young too. But I'm going to give the edge to the Orioles. I think Gunnar Henderson, he's just a beast on his own, where I think he's going to carry this series. And Corbin Burns, if he does well today, the Orioles probably going to do well for this series. So
yeah. All right. So we got an Orioles. Noel. Royals, Orioles. What are you feeling?
I think it's going to be a great battle overall, no matter what. Like you said, 2 teams with a lot on big chips on their shoulder, but I'm going to go KC.
KC, okay.
I got KC.
So I haven't given mine yet. I'm going to go Tigers, and I'm going to go Orioles, okay? But that one can definitely go either way. All right, we're going to the NL. Mets, Brewers. We all saw what the Mets did yesterday. They came back to beat the Braves in game 1. They lose game 2. Now, today they have Luis Severino on the mound. He's going up against Freddie Peralta on the more well-rested Brewers. Tony, Mets, Brewers, best of 3. Who we got?
I'm going to be a little biased. I have a lot of family in Milwaukee, so I'm going to go with the Brewers. Fun stadium.
Tony biased? I've never seen that before.
$3 Coors Lights Miller Lights at what do they call it now? Great American Ballpark?
No, that's Cincinnati.
Or what is it? What's the Milwaukee one?
It's
American Family Field.
There you go. American Family
Used to
Field.
be whatever it's called, Miller Park.
Yeah,
but
Miller.
Anyway, I'm going to go with the Brewers for that one. Mets, great time. We were really hyped up watching
That game was crazy,
We were
yeah.
watching the game yesterday. We were all
The
hyped
Lindor
up.
home run was
Yeah,
crazy.
that was nuts. But I'm going to go with the Brewers on this one.
All right, Noel, Brewers, Mets.
Once again, I'm going to switch it up. I really like that Mets team, man. I'm going to roll with the Mets taking this one.
Lindor is fun. Lindor is fun. Last one. This is the one that means the most to the Dodger fans. The Braves and the Padres. By the way, I'm going to go with Noel. I feel like the Mets are going to beat the Brewers. I don't know. I think the Mets are having this storybook dream season, and they're going to stay hot. Okay, Braves, Padres. Again, as we all know, the winner of this game faces your Los Angeles Dodgers on Saturday. Tony, Braves, Padres. Let me just tell you really quickly.
No Chris Sale, right?
Yeah, so
No
the
Chris
Braves
Sale.
don't have Chris Sale. Game 1 is going to be Michael King versus AJ Smith Shaver.
Who is that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he's thrown 4.1 innings this year, no runs, 4 strikeouts, career in his regular season, 3.64 ERA across 29.2 innings. That's AJ Smith Shaver. He's taking the mound because the Braves use all their pitchers this past
That's for
weekend.
sure. As much as I hate to say, it's probably going to be the Padres, and I kind of want to see the Padres take on the Dodgers. Dodgers take on the Padres. We got to get that rematch. You know how it is.
All right, so we got a Padres. Noel, I know who you're taking.
We all know how this ends. We all know how this ends. If the Dodgers want to win the World Series, they got to go through San Diego. They got to show them they don't eat at the same table. You know what I'm saying? It's Padres, Dodgers, NLDS. Rematch 2022. Give it to me now.
I will say, if Chris Sale was going to be on the mound, if the Braves didn't have to just play these 2 games against the Mets and they were a little more well-rested, I think it could have been a series, but I agree. I think the Padres are winning, and we are going to have a lot of fun with a Padres-Dodgers NLDS. Let me read your comments to see who you guys have winning these games. First of all, Tio Serrano says, win it all for Fernando. I love that. Adrian Salazar says, Atlanta is going to upset San Diego and Mets are going to take out Milwaukee. Interesting. That would make things really wild. That'd be a Dodgers, Braves, and a Mets, Phillies NLDS. That would be very fun. Diane Schroeder says, Tigers are playing well. Ronald Pasquale says, Astros, Padres, Brewers, Orioles advance. Darren Shepard said, Noah getting comfy in that chair. You'll love to see it. It's a pretty comfortable chair. I'm not going to lie. D-Max baby is in good hands. My D-Max baby is D-Max. This is D-Max baby. I see. D-Max baby. Dodgers Nate. D-Max would be a great dad. He is a great dad. Ray Soda said Scoople is dealing. Crayosabrick says Tigers are the hot team. Matt Lyer says Tigers. The trash banger should be banned from baseball. Roy Estrada says Tigers over Astros. Braves, big upset over Padres. Mets over Brewers. Royals over Orioles. That'll be great. Few more. Darren Shepard says Scooble, future Dodger. That is a fire take. Darren Shepard says the Royals have Will Smith, so they have to make it to the World Series. Hey, maybe a little Will Smith again. Beer Sama says, damn, another pick your poison. Support trash AJ Hinch or the Trash Stros. A lot of trash in that, I guess, Tigers-Astros series. Ronald Pasquale says Orioles in 3. Beer Sama says Tigers and Orioles. Dr. Dog says Brewers. Keith Potter says Tigers and Royals. Diane Schroeder says Mets take the Brewers. Ronald Pasquale says the Brew Crew. A few more before we get out of here. BC says Braves and Tigers sweeping the Padres and Astros. That would be a lot of fun for Dodger fans to watch. A couple of sweeps of the Padres and the Astros. Nando390 says Frank the Tank versus the Brew Crew. Now, I was in a fantasy football league with Frank the Tank. Very nice guy. Very funny guy. I say fantasy baseball, right? That's what I meant to say. Diane Schroeder says Braves take the Padres. Matt Leiter says I'd rather play the Padres, but the Braves will win. Padres will choke. BC says all the pundits are picking SD to make the NLCS or World Series, and they're always wrong. Bodes well for us. Yeah, we'll have to see about that. Roy Estrada says you said it wrong. We don't go through San Diego. They have to go through us.
Finish him.
That's my first finish him of the day. That was a fire comment. Few more before we get out of here. Nando390 says Phillies are going to be a dangerous team. They ain't soft. Yeah, they got a great starting rotation. They got a great lineup. They're going to be really, really good. Birasama says, F the Padres. Adrian Salazar says, I want a Yankees-Dodgers World Series. That would be good for baseball if you ask me. Anthony Cortez says, would you have the 2017 Dodgers win the World Series or the 2021 Dodgers win the World Series? That is a loaded question. That is an absolutely loaded question. I am going to go with 2017. Okay. I mean, that one hurts a little bit more because of the cheating, and that team was special. Now the 2021 team was special too, but I think if you could go back in time, and then again, the Dodgers should have won the 2017 World Series if it weren't for the cheating. But yes, I would go 2017, but I want both of them if you ask me. But let's just make it 2024, and then all that can be behind us because that'll be a World Series in Shohei Ohtani's first season with the Dodgers. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Thank you all for your predictions. Thank you all for hanging out with me. That's going to be the end of our show today. We will be back hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully D-Mac gets back soon because I know I'll wait on him. We got a few more comments I'm going to read before we get out of here. Birasama says, someone check on Miggy Vargas. Facts. Let's hope he's doing okay. Nando390 says, Kavan Biggio and Nick Ahmed were the best pickups. Hey, we needed them. The Dodgers needed them when they needed them. So we will be very happy about that. But that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you have not already, subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel, the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel in the world. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and comment giveaway down below to be eligible for all future giveaways. My name is Noah Camras. Tony Taters is with me. Noel Sanchez is with me. You can follow me on Twitter at Noah Camras. Hopefully DMAC gets back soon, but until then, I'm having a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, talking some Dodger baseball. Today, we got to watch some Wildcard. Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to watch some Wildcard. And on Saturday, we are going to watch our Los Angeles Dodgers play in the postseason again. So we have a lot to look forward to this week. Stay tuned on the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel for the DN Award Show. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.